Hi, Misha here, and I haven't had much opportunity this summer to really do a lot with model planes or even figures. Most of it's been the cabin stuff, as you've seen on the channel. But I did find something from NECA on sale. Thought I'd pick it up. We haven't done one of these in almost a full year. And this prey predator, the feral predator, was a pretty neat figure. And the original version came with a lot of accessories and a lot of different looks. So I thought picking up this version to kind of give it a different look would be fun. This is the kind of cloaked one with the blood and everything. And this is something NECA's done since the very beginning of their Predator line. They've always done cloaked versions. Yeah, it's mold reuse because tooling be expensive. I don't blame them. So take a look at it. Slipcase, kind of a different packaging than we normally see. I know this version doesn't come with as many accessories as the original. That's why I didn't buy it when it first came out. I kind of waited for a sale. Got this internal backing. I believe this is all plastic. I don't feel any paper. But of course it's kind of going with the whole translucent theme of the dude. Always takes me a little while to unpackage everything here. But I don't know. Just having fun, guys. It's raining outside, so pretty much have all my other work done. Let's unbox this dude. And I like to use nail clippers to get these little twist ties off. I'm afraid with a knife I might stab through the plastic and hurt the poor predator. So here it is, out of the package. Actually wasn't too hard to get out. We've got two alternative mouths. Yeah, little pieces here. The mask does come off. We've got 4 extra hands. They always ship these with these open hands, and I don't know. I guess they're fine, but... And then we have basically the melee weapons. Open, closed combi stick, extended blades, and we have the little backpack. And of course the combi stick does separate to make it a club and a stabby thing. That's kind of neat. And it has this version. My only gripe is the hook thing. It was on the first one, continues on here. I feel like there's a better way, but I don't know what it'd be. Of course, this does still feature the power of magnets. But the backpack on this side, or this side, for whatever reason, even though I know it's not supposed to be the right side, I think it's the other. It always seems like it fits better on this side, but you can slew it around however you want. He has less accoutrement on his belt or loincloth, but I'll be honest, sometimes I actually do like the stripped down look for certain things. And getting him out of the package, the joints are actually flexible without being what I would call overtly loose. And it's kind of good for a figure like this. And he's tall. He's about 9 inches. And he has some very sharp toenails and fingernails and stuff. Should be a lot of fun, frankly. But yeah, I think most of the budget for this went into the paint and the clear plastic and just reusing the mold. I wouldn't have paid full price, but on sale, thought it was kind of interesting. Plus, frankly, hadn't bought anything in a while. I was just kind of wanting something new. But of course, me being me, that's mostly lost, unfortunately, on me. Swapped out the hands for the grippy ones, or at least the looser gripping ones. He also has these fist hands, which again, he's kind of in hand-to-hand melee mode, killing a bear, but whatever. Yeah, I've always thought his combi stick was pretty neat. It's pretty versatile. Again, this end set up this way is a club, and this is a spike, a blade, both. He's quite flexible, but again, not loose. The joints do have notches or ratchets. And the backpack you can pretty much position anywhere you want. The magnet idea is neat. I think one reason they did it with the ferrule is he didn't have buckles or straps. It was just kind of stuck to his back in the film anyway, so replicate that as much as possible. Of course, his face mask comes off. And this is more the open tusk mouth look, which again, for battle mode, makes perfect sense. Mask is pretty well the same. NECA has gone back and forth on removable masks or just swappable heads for years on the Predators, and it probably just comes down to the actual design, which works better. But this one stays on quite well, and it has the kind of tusks to hold it on. He always had long hair. He doesn't have the collapsing shield on his arm here. Not even a place for it, which is okay. With the first version, and one actual reason I like this is with the first version, you almost had to have something in that slot. It was just way too big, so either collapsed or deployed. This way, you don't. And of course, he has optional extended wrist blades as well. So I was curious about the wrist blades. If there's one kind of about the first version, they don't peg in all that well. The holes are slightly small, and the kind of pegs on the blades are slightly large. On the other hand, I guess the argument could be made they won't wear as much. And I was curious here, these seem slightly better, maybe because of the different material. I just pegged them in. They're in there, but they will fall out if I knock them. If I heat it up, they'll probably go in a little better. They do seem a little bit shorter than the previous ones, which is good for not knocking them out. On the positive side, the way they did the combi stick attachment's nice. It's asymmetrical, so it doesn't just peg in and rotate around. It actually kind of has an offside where when it pegs together, it will stay. But it's also not super tough to take apart. So you shouldn't overwear it. And here's the collapsed version. I put the little hooks on. This version, because of being cloaked, they're plastic. On the original one, they were metal. I do actually feel like the combi stick fits a little better with the plastic. They're probably able to make it a little bit tighter without worrying about wearing it. So something that I thought was going to be a negative might end up being an overall positive, but I'm not sure. And plastic is obviously more willing to break than metal. Either way, though, these are very small pieces. I do feel like some kind of just pegging system for either version probably would have been more practical, but at the same time, not as authentic to the film. And there it is on his belt. You just kind of hook it in. Without as much stuff on there, it is a little easier to find a good place for it. And kind of on the first one, the peg on the left seems to sit in just a little better. But I'm going to say between these being plastic and just not as much stuff on there, I do think it sticks a little bit better. What do you think? But anyway, yeah, the wrist blades are kind of still not the best thing, but that's a minor detraction. I do actually think the combi stick hooks on a little better than the previous version, only because there's not as much stuff on his belt to impact with. It's also clever how they did it because of the magnet. They could not have done a pure cloaked Predator and had the magnet in the torso, obviously. So to kind of cover up that spot, they have the blood. Pretty neat. I think, anyway. So you have some ways you could display him, but yeah, this is more of the stripped down version. We've seen it with all the other Predators. The one from the first film, the second film, they had kind of basic versions. And they've always done cloaked and semi-cloaked too. So, like I said, just kind of wanted something different, new. Wouldn't pay full price for him, but it gives you another configuration to have fun with. I think deployed combi stick with no blades is kind of how I like the look of this one. Again, the magnet lets you place it on either side, and it can move around and stuff, but it doesn't really fall off. Regular modern NECA articulation. They've long since grown out of their brittle phase that they went through about 15 years ago. Head moves quite well. And again, you can change the mouth and the expressions. But yeah, I think this is how I like him. What do you think? And here he is next to the original release. I do really like the shield, but you can't really have him without it either opened or closed, because otherwise there's a gaping hole in his arm. I really think they should have included a plug with the first one. Of course, on this one, you don't even have a choice. It's just in there. Both come with the same basic combi stick. Of course, the first one has the pretty cool spear gun, or almost like a dart caster. And I was wrong. The blades on the first one are really about the same length. They seem a little bit different, but I think it's just my head. Both have removable masks, but there's a lot more on the belt, like the net ball. And yeah, the combi stick sets a little better on the bare blood version, just because there's not as much getting in the way, and those plastic pieces seem to just hug it a little tighter. On the other hand, though, metal's going to be a lot more durable, I would imagine. But if one breaks, I mean, it's an S-hook. You could fabricate something. Not a big deal. And I think the first one did come with one more set of hands, and that was for the net gun. So definitely more accessories. But this was almost, I think it was really all new tooling for a Predator. So they're going to have to use the mold. But with another Prey film coming out, something Fox is really looking forward to, surely they get to reuse it to some extent. I will say, too, the regular bases I set these on aren't good enough. They're too tall, they're too heavy, and they eventually tump over. Haven't really found a good base for them. They need something very kind of wide and heavy. They do have foot pegs, but I usually just kind of sit them on the back. They stand up okay, and if you prop them up against the wall, they kind of stand fine. So that's usually what I do. By the way, the spear gun does have a piece of metal in it, and it will stick on the back by a magnet too, and it will stick on the bare blood if you want to. I don't know. No real purpose, guys. Just hanging out. Rainy old day. Kind of glad this came in now. Gave me something to kind of monkey around with over the evening. But what do you think? And if you haven't, check out all the cabin videos I've put up recently. And we'll get back to some other stuff pretty soon, I'm sure. But the cabin just took up the majority of my time, as I'm sure you can understand. But with that project ending, I'll have more time for other things. This is Misha. Catch you very soon next time.